Let's sign up for Truth or Fake. Kathleen is over by the big board. Good evening to you. In this edition, former FBI Director James Comey is accused of calling for Donald Trump's assassination with a post on Instagram. We need to find out, is this truth or fake?
Well, here's the post, Mark. Former FBI Director James Comey was questioned by the U.S. Secret Service on Friday after posting this photo on Instagram of seashells forming the numbers 8647. The caption on the photo reads, "Cool shell formation on my beach walk." A simple vacation photo. Well, not for Trump's followers, who saw that this is and considered this to be a coded message, a call to assassinate Donald Trump. A post that caused an uproar among President Trump's allies, supporters, family members, notably Donald Trump Jr., who reposted this photo on X and says that just James Comey actually casually calling for my dad to be murdered, demented, he says in this post, seen over 13 million times on X, while Taylor Budowich, the White House Deputy Chief of Staff, said on X, the FBI director puts out what can clearly be interpreted, she calls, as a hit on the sitting president of the United States, a message etched in the sand, deeply concerning to all of us and must be taken seriously. It was taken very seriously indeed, to the point of opening an investigation. According to the New York Times, they say the Secret Service questioned James Comey in a Secret Service office in Washington, D.C., the day after the photo was published on Friday, May 16th. James Comey, who has been a target of Donald Trump's fury, dating back to his first term when Trump fired at Comey as FBI Director in May 2017, when the Bureau was investigating whether Donald Trump's advisors had colluded with the Russian government to influence the outcome of the 2016 presidential election.
One suspects the people you quoted, Kathleen, have an agenda as tall as the Trump Tower and as wide as the Mar-a-Lago beach. But tell us where the term 8647 might come from and what it might mean.
We'll explain, Mark, since the term 86 is subject to a wide array of interpretations. Let's start with the basics and look the term up on the Merriam-Webster dictionary. That explains that the term 86 in slang means to throw out, to get rid of, to refuse service to. So a term that first appeared in the 1930s service industry called 1930s soda counter slang, referring to when an item at a diner was no longer available. However, they also explained that it did not take long for this word to broaden its use beyond the realm of the soda counter. Dictionaries like Merriam-Webster alike acknowledge that one recent meaning of the term is to kill, but they do not include this term on their dictionary due to its relative recency, they say. Instead, this meaning is generally found in slang dictionaries, where we could see that the term 86 started to be associated with to kill, murder, or execute judicially back in 1978. Meanwhile, the number has also previously been used in a political context. More recently, we have an example here by Matt Gaetz, who was President Trump's former pick for Attorney General. Mr. Gaetz once wrote on X in February 2024, "We've now 86 while listing political opponents who ended up stepping down." The term has even been used against former President Joe Biden in January 2022 by Jack Posobiec, a conservative activist who posted 8646 on X. So you might have noticed also 46 or 47, of course, supposedly representing Donald Trump, who was the 47th president of the United States.
So I'm taking from this that if you're a Trump fan and you use 86, nobody cares, or they don't care and make nothing of it. But because Comey did it, the Trump supporters are getting on board and trying to make something of it. So, Catalina, was James Comey really using this term as an incitement to violence? I suppose that's the crux of the matter.
Well, following this fierce criticism over the seashell post, Comey only left the image online for a couple hours before deleting it on Thursday. And he says that this post that caused the uproar was actually totally innocent. After deleting the post, he wrote on Instagram, I posted earlier a picture of some shells I saw today on a beach walk, which I assumed he underlines were a political message. He says also, I didn't realize some folks associated these numbers with violence. It never occurred to me. As PolitiFact spoke to several retired FBI agents, including Frank Figliuzzi, as to whether the term is used to incite violence, he says, I've never in 25 years of the FBI have seen that the term was used to incite political violence, while another agent also says, I doubt Comey used the word to incite violence, only to express perhaps his dissatisfaction with the current administration. So there's another theory. Maybe he was referring to an impeachment. Trump, however, in an interview aired with Fox News on Friday, said he didn't buy Comey's explanation for 1 second. Let's take a listen.
A child knows what that meant. If you're the FBI director and you don't know what that meant assassination. And it says it loud and clear.
So according to him, James Comey knew exactly what that meant, which was assassination. So who will ultimately decide whether this was an incitement to violence or not? According to Kristi Noem, who is Homeland Security Secretary on X, the Secret Service and Department of Homeland Security are currently investigating the matter and will determine if action is warranted.
Indeed. Comey, I suppose, just referring to the fact that Trump is the least popular US president since they started such surveys after 100 days. And he's probably sticking to that. And Trump, of course, will have his own line, which he always will stick to. Catalina, thank you for shedding some light on this truth or fake issue. Let's turn to